Fox News. Breaking news.
Chuck Schumer blasted Trump over Iran, and then a hot mic blew up. You heard it. The Senate Democrat tried to posture as the adult in the room, and the country got a sound effect instead. Now layer that onto a Taco Bell parasite outbreak in 34 states, because this next detail makes this humiliation even worse. 1,645 confirmed cases across... Whoops. Where am I going here? 1,645 confirmed cases across 34 states, and over 600 new Michigan cases hit fast. Sit with that for a second. Families are trying to grab dinner. Taco Bell yanked ingredients from select locations, and health officials started zeroing in on lettuce while Schumer played emperor on the Senate floor. That's the part that burns me up. Chuck Schumer attacks Donald Trump, the legacy media snickers, and regular Americans deal with the fallout from another broken system the ruling class never fixes. They lecture, and we get the chaos. Now, markets and defense planners are zeroing in on a growing U.S. supply gap as near-record tungsten prices collide with national security demand. Washington is rebuilding the critical mineral supply chain because tungsten is a tungsten national security priority, used in fighter jets, tanks, missiles, drones, and ammunition, with no U.S. commercial tungsten mining since 2015. Project Vault targets a $12 billion strategic stockpile alongside $30 billion domestic production and millions towards restarting U.S. tungsten production through the Pentagon. Vault Strategic Mining is building exposure through historic tungsten assets in mining-friendly U.S. jurisdictions using proven former mines and modern exploration techniques to support reliable supply outside of China. Its Nevada Great Basin project includes a defense-related exploration contract from the Second World War, approximately 10,000 feet of drilling, and a USGS estimate of roughly 168,000 tons of tungsten oxide, with 30 to 50 billion estimated in-ground value. KNOX in Canada and KNXFF in the United States. That's how you can track them. And you can also track it by going to the Next News Intel briefing that's been prepared for you, linked below. Now, Tim Burchett, he cracked. Schumer had just been to Taco Bell, and that landed hard because now the joke cuts deeper than a cheap laugh. You've got a Democrat lifer turning into a national punchline at the exact moment investigators are tracking stomach bug cases coast to coast, and waiting to see Schumer's next move when TMZ corners him. Here is Representative Tim Burchett.
I was wondering if you heard Chuck Schumer kind of passed gas. It sounded like he passed gas when he was up there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I think he'd just been to Taco Bell. I saw that, yeah.
It's kind of like, it's a little sort of embarrassing if that's really what happened, but also like it's so natural and kind of relatable. Is it relatable to you?
No, because everybody says, oh, you can eat that, it's organic. I said, well, dadgum horse manure is organic. I don't eat it.
Fair. You've never had that sort of like, bubbling in your stomach and needed to do that while you're giving a big speech?
I'm 61. If I pass the bathroom, it's just by accident, all right? I go in as much as I can.
So would you like sort of like reassure Chuck Schumer that, we all
Chuck,
do it?
It's okay, baby. You're human. If you need me, I'm here.
Oh, very good, mate. Would you eat Taco Bell today? Like, would you go on if someone offered you some free
Probably the safest time to eat Taco Bell would be today. It's kind of like flying on an airplane after a bad accident. The next day it's the safest day you could ever fly.
That's probably true. Hey, thank you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Wow. Good to see ya.
Quite an exchange on the Hill there. Burchett turned it into a joke and pinned it on Taco Bell. Now watch the actual Senate floor clip that got Schumer getting roasted all over the internet.
On Iran and the NDAA. The American people need to know, of course, how and why this chaos is spreading through their streets, and we need a complete investigation that's independent. Now, on Iran and the NDAA, when all the Trump administration can say about his disastrous war with Iran is that Vietnam was worse, a point Trump made yesterday, he reveals the scale of his failure. This is what Donald Trump said.
The scale of the failure is in your pants, sir. You saw the moment yourself on the Senate floor. Next, Schumer gets hit with the question directly by TMZ and then goes completely silent but deadly.
Senator.
Invalidate the election certificates of Senator Ossoff and Senator Warnock.
Senator Jacob with TMZ, did you fart yesterday on the Senate floor?
Thanks, everybody. Let's get back up on the sidewalk.
I gotta see that again.
Senator.
Invalidate the election certificates of Senator Ossoff and Senator Warnock.
Senator Jacob with TMZ, did you fart yesterday on the Senate floor?
Did you fart on the Senate floor? He's getting asked directly. So the silence said plenty, and Schumer clearly wanted no part of it. But the Taco Bell line stops being a punchline when the real outbreak hits and ingredients start getting pulled. This is World News Tonight covering it.
Intestinal illness sweeping much of the country, thousands coming down with it. Well, tonight, the popular fast food chain voluntarily removing some items as a precaution. Here's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, Taco Bell saying they have voluntarily removed some ingredients at select locations as the foodborne parasite cyclosporiasis rapidly spreads across the U.S. The company stating public health officials have not confirmed a link to Taco Bell or any specific ingredient, supplier, restaurant, or retailer, adding they will closely monitor the situation. State health officials say there have been more than 600 new cases of cyclosporiasis in Michigan alone since yesterday. Health officials now pointing to lettuce as a possible source of the outbreak in that state.
We're continuing our traceback investigation on multiple produce items, including the lettuce.
The CDC confirming cases in 34 states. Today, warning that cases in Michigan, West Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio seem to have a similar source. The parasite spread through contaminated food or water can cause severe digestive issues, including diarrhea. Symptoms usually begin about 1 week after becoming infected.
It was really bad. There were moments where I was literally just camped out in the bathroom and I don't care, I'm just going to lay on this floor.
David, the CDC is telling doctors to stay alert. Health officials say thoroughly wash.
Stay alert. So it started as Capitol Hill comedy runs straight into public health scare. The New York Post picks up the investigation into the outbreak to the reports of explosive diarrhea. New York Post, Taco Bell investigated over explosive diarrhea parasite outbreak. So the story gets even more direct. Taco Bell isn't just removing ingredients, it's under active scrutiny. Next, local TV breaks down how many states are dealing with the parasite outbreak.
Now, Taco Bell has temporarily removed some ingredients at select restaurants as a precautionary measure amid an outbreak of cyclosporiasis. The fast food chain stresses that there is no confirmed link between the outbreak and any of its locations or suppliers. Right now, health officials in Michigan are investigating whether Taco Bell restaurants played a role in the state's outbreak. The parasite has sickened more than 4,000 people in that state alone. At least 33 other states have confirmed cases, including Maryland and Virginia.
Oh, my goodness. So the Post report raised the alarm. 7 News puts the numbers next. Another national report shows how many Americans have gotten sick and why investigators are now zeroing in on the source.
A lot of people have probably heard about this. Thousands of people have gotten sick since May. A source is yet to be determined, but Taco Bell is taking voluntary, precautionary action amid the multi-state investigation.
This morning, fast food giant Taco Bell says it's voluntarily removing some ingredients from select restaurants as a precautionary measure amid the growing outbreak of an intestinal parasitic infection in the U.S. Taco Bell telling ABC News in a statement, the health and safety of our guests is our top priority. Public health officials have not confirmed a link to Taco Bell or any specific ingredient, supplier, restaurant, or retailer, adding, we will continue to closely monitor the situation.
Washington Post, rare stomach bug outbreak hits 34 states. Taco Bell under investigation. Fox covering it. And the question is, did you have volcano diarrhea after Taco Bell? The feds are investigating. Federal and state health officials are investigating whether lettuce served at Taco Bell played a role in massive multi-state cyclosporiasis outbreak. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and state officials are tracking thousands and thousands of cases. Oh. Senator, did you fart yesterday on the Senate floor? So TMZ asked Chuck Schumer flat out and Schumer went dead silent. The silence is the whole rotten picture, isn't it? He had plenty to say when he was attacking Trump over Iran, plenty of swagger, plenty of Senate theater outrage, but when a reporter put one direct question on him after the hot mic clip tore across the country, Schumer froze and hid behind the same protected political class arrogance that always kicks in when one of their own gets caught. Then stack the timing on top. Taco Bell cooperating with investigators, pulling ingredients from select restaurants. Officials track cyclosporiasis in 34 states, and Michigan alone racks up thousands under investigation. You watch the pileup and tell me, this party looks serious, right? Chuck Schumer didn't just embarrass himself, he handed America a perfect snapshot of Democrat decay, loud, smug, and then mute when accountability walks up. So Chuck Schumer needs to answer the question, and Taco Bell needs answers too. Not spin, not media fluff, answers. Because you and I just watched the same grotesque split screen. A Senate Democrat humiliates himself on camera while federal and state officials chase a parasite outbreak tied to contaminated produce fears. That's not some random bad day. That's what happens when a protected ruling class runs on arrogance and never pays a price. Schumer thought he could hammer Trump, posture over Iran, and glide right past the hot mic moment. Then TMZ put a camera in front of him, and he clammed up pretty quick. Of course he did. These people demand investigations into everybody else, but when the spotlight swings onto Chuck Schumer, suddenly silence. Meanwhile, thousands of Americans are dealing with sickness, ingredient pullbacks, and another reminder that basic competence collapses wherever these elites camp out. So laugh at Schumer, he earned every bit of it, and then keep your eyes on the names, the footage, and the institutions covering for him, because that protection racket only survives if we stop looking. And don't stop looking for notifications from me, because I'll send them to you directly from your phone. That's right, we know YouTube's not sending them to you, so we set up this number, and thousands of patriots are already getting those notifications. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963 and be on the inside track when YouTube leaves you in the dark.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.